All right. Stream should be up and running here. We've been closed for almost 3 minutes here after a pretty volatile day in the Qs and SPY. So we'll take a look at that, see what that leaves us with for tomorrow, and then also go over the plays from today. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for February 10th, 2022. Qs down 2.25%. See the big topping tail there. SPY down 1.8. Now, in the last couple days, we had some reasonably bullish moves. Not enough to make us turn bullish because we said as long as this sell setup in the Qs and SPY is still there, can't be bullish. But we did have a failure of the hourly downtrend. We had that gap up yesterday. The gap up held. What was even more impressive, I thought, even more impressive than that, was that we had a gap down this morning due to inflation numbers, and we actually rallied all the way back. Let me see if maybe SPY. Yeah, SPY at one point went unchanged, even I guess up from the previous day's close. I thought that was very, very impressive. Now, we did come out later, I think some talk by the Fed chairman about interest rates, but I don't care too much what the news is, just what the market, how the market responded. Okay, and of course gave back all those gains and then even dug deeper than where we were gapping to in the morning. So we have to acknowledge that negation of a bullish event, which I thought this morning's move up was pretty bullish, is bearish. Location-wise, though, is very hard. Here's the support that we established over the course of, 3 days, 4 days? And then here's the resistance, that sell setup, that has yet to be taken out. And so far, we're getting a little bit of a double top on the daily, combining that with the price action from the last 2 days. So given that we're sandwiched in between support and resistance, gonna stay neutral as we were today, but the most recent event is bearish. So we could be a little bit more bearish leaning. There's no denying that what happened this afternoon is bearish. Okay. But in the big picture here, we're kind of back to where we were, just a couple of days ago. So will this be a double top? Will this lead to the next leg down? I think we'll get a lot of information tomorrow. Okay, because if we spend more time back in this range where we were bearish, then these last day and a half, or like day and an hour, that move up and then the recovery of the gap down, that was going to be just enough to create the double top, and all that bullishness evaporated in a hurry. So that's not bullish at all, right? So yeah, the more time we spend down here, the more bearish, but I think we'll see what we get tomorrow, because a lot of times we've seen, as with FOMC, that a lot of times that move can get erased the very next day. And so we'll see if this is that kind of move that we got today. All right, so neutral for tomorrow, more anticipating we'll have for Monday a better idea. Okay, given how we respond tomorrow, the more time that we get back into this range, the last time we were here, where the hourly couldn't follow through, but the more time we come back in, the more bearish we're going to be, because now we have this double top here on the daily. Okay, all right, let's go over the plays from today. First play was the TWOU. That was favorite gap, I believe, for all of the moderators. Sammy was on the mic. That was his favorite gap, just a breakdown at the open. That was pretty good. Didn't hold until the hourly trailed, because it did kind of get to 4 Rs. And then the trail was like 2 Rs away, over 2 Rs away at that time. So I decided to go ahead and take it. It didn't make too much of a difference. My last exit was around 960. And so I think if I did the hourly, it would have been over like 940. So that's not too bad. But, you never know. I mean, this thing at one point was at 905. So that was pretty nice. Here's the daily. This is why. This was such a nice gap on the TWOU, gapping underneath. All right, this was also I think this was an earnings play as well, so some of you may have already been in it from the previous day. The next play for me was the goose. The goose was a very similar kind of play. You can see here daily, we're gapping down, we're breaking support. But this one didn't follow through quite as well. I think this only gave us about half an hour. Initially, I was using high of the day as the stop, and then I lowered it before it triggered. I said, okay, let's use this as this stop instead of high of the day. We get a little bit better reward to risk. But that's all it gave. Triggered right there, another bar of follow through, and then that was it. And so I said kill it over 80. Could have done it a little bit earlier, but I really like this gap. I really didn't even want to kill it early. If I just let it stop, honestly, on this, if I had taken a full loss on this, I wouldn't feel bad. Because I like the gap, I like the play, I like the setup. This low of the day base breakdown is not as clean, but in concept is the same idea as the TWOU. They're both good pro gaps. They're both clearing support. So just, goose a little bit sloppier, but, I still like the play a lot. If this something sets up just like this tomorrow, I'll play it again. Because, I like this setup quite a bit. So this one didn't work. Like I said, we lost a little bit more than half an hour on this. And if, I decided not to trail, whatever, honestly, wouldn't feel bad on this goose. But I liked it. 1 minute base breakdown on a pro gap that was clearing support. Yeah, and then I thought there were some really nice plays kind of throughout the day as well. Sammy had the nice play on the grab as a 5 minute base breakout right in there. Base breakout, that was nice. He also had the INVA rally, and then just into the end of the day, this NGL was kind of nice. Those of you that were in the room till the end of the day might have scalped it with me. Played it short. Played it for just that little bounce. I think all that it gave was like 2-3 cents. Didn't get much out of it, but this drop was a lot nicer. If you could get filled, getting filled was a little bit hard, but yeah, if you were kind of persistent, eventually got it, and that was not too bad on the NGL. So yeah, that was kind of the day. I did think that we had some decent gaps today, but really only the TWOU followed through nicely. I thought EMKR was pretty good. Tried this, ended up with a break-even play when it didn't want to follow through. I thought USX, although a little bit big on these, USX was fine. Just a big play. You can see that actually we got bought. So did the QMCO, also got bought. Also a little bit too big. So, I thought that TWOU was the best, worked the best. Oh, you know which one was really good but didn't really work like it was the best? I guess it did close here weak, but here's the LUMN. So you can see here, it got that drop in the morning and then didn't really do much after that. So first drop right off the bat here, which I saw, but I decided to pass on because it was kind of going from the top to the entry. The sell setup, I guess, would have been amazing. I thought it was decent but aggressive. Don't know if I even would have gotten filled on this because LUMN was hard to get filled on. A lot of things on an uptick today were hard to get filled on. But, given what it did throughout most of the day, it didn't really do much. I guess longs maybe you could have tried. But I like this gap a lot. So, it's something we can put on the carryover list on the LUMN. So, we got a lot of good gaps, but I was surprised more of them didn't follow through, to be honest, on these. Okay, so, yeah, we'll see how that, either continues or we get better follow through tomorrow. Some of that may have been due to the volatility in the market because market did get bought really hard right at the open. Yeah, we'll see. Pretty interesting stuff that we had today and the negation of that move up in the morning. So did not see that coming. Did not see the rally coming. Didn't really see this. But keep in mind, I had a neutral bias going into today, so it wasn't like I had a strong feeling one way or the other on the Qs and SPY. Okay? All right, guys. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. Have a good evening.